Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with SMCI Weekly Analysis. Some people ask me to provide analysis and assessment on SMCI. As you know, SMCI has been highly volatile or fluctuating stock in 2024. So it is not recommended to everybody in my opinion because the chances of losing money is too high if you are an inexperienced trader. But at the same time, you can earn big money in a short interval of time if you can handle the volatility. I plan to provide my analysis and assessment on weekly basis from now on. Now, let's get started. On your screen, I show you guys the weekly snapshot for SMCI for last 1 year in candlestick chart format. So if you can notice, and so you can notice SMCI made an all-time high sometime in March 2024, but after that it started going down. And you guys probably know the reasons behind it, right? Those are the financial issues and the reporting issues with SMCI that they could not file right on time with NASDAQ, right? And sometime in December, probably second week or so, SMCI was delisted from NASDAQ 100. So it added additional pressure on SMCI after that. So that's why the one way of looking at SMCI is a huge potential for bounce back if SMCI is able to submit the financial report before February 25. Because take a look from 122 through 32 at this point, almost 4 to 500% decline. So it's a big room for SMCI to catch up if things goes well for SMCI. In the last few weeks, the volatility has been further high. You see the negative closing, and then you see green candlestick, positive closing, negative, positive, negative, then three consecutive positive, and then negative closing last week. Now let's take a deep dive onto the weekly analysis. So on your screen, I'm showing you this spreadsheet. In this spreadsheet, I put together the adjusted closing price for SMCI for last 6 months on a weekly basis. Okay. And I also added the percentage change week over week and also the maximum or the minimum point SMCI has touched in last 6 weeks. So you can notice in the percentage change column the fluctuations. See that? Negative 12%, negative 10% in just 1 week, 12%, and then again negative, positive. So you see that the fluctuations are so high week over week. And the maximum 91 and the minimum 18.58. Especially after SMCI got delisted from NASDAQ 100. And one positive thing you can notice, you see that Nvidia touched 18.58 sometime here in November, right? And that was the time when Nvidia missed the deadline, but they were able to file the extension. The market took it as positive because they were able to file the extension and then it started going up, 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 right? And then it touched 36, probably 43 as well. So 43, the maximum point it touched in this week, 45.99. Okay. And then also following week, the maximum it touched 48. So 48 was the highest point it touched, right? After it filed the extension. So good point I'm trying to mention here is, so after they filed the extension, it got the positive trend, right? Until it got delisted from NASDAQ 100 on December 13th. So after that, another decline started on SMCI. But the positive side is SMCI did not go too low. Okay, so the lowest point it touched in last few weeks is 29.9 versus the lowest point it touched sometime here. You see, that was 17.25. Okay, so it did not go to that level after getting delisted from NASDAQ 100, and that's a positive sign in my opinion. And this also gives me a feeling that, below 30 could be a very good buy point for SMCI if somebody has a patience to handle the daily fluctuations until SMCI is able to file the financial reports that is due on February 25. So if that happens, then the huge potential for SMCI is waiting. But on the other side, if they miss filing the reports again before February 25, then you will see a big downtrend on SMCI. But the chances of that happening, in my opinion, is low. And at the same time, if SMCI reports or publishes the previous financials data to NASDAQ, and if they revise the earnings number or the revenue number that they reported in the past big time, then again that will be a negative thing for SMCI. What I'm trying to say, so you remember in 2024 they published quarterly earnings and the revenue data, right, without any endorsement from the auditor, right? So if the new auditor revises those numbers down the big time, then that won't be good for SMCI. So hopefully that also does not happen. If they revise the previous quarterly numbers a little bit, that should be fine. And regarding my trading on SMCI, I lost big time on SMCI multiple times in last 2-3 months. But again, I keep trading on SMCI. The reason why, because I think that SMCI should be able to bounce back. So these 1 or 2 months are tough time for SMCI, but the huge potential is waiting for SMCI. And if you take a look at the products that SMCI is making at this point, they have no competition on some of those products, right? They are unique to SMCI. So again, on the competition side, SMCI is positioned very well in the AI sector. Now I'm gonna share with you the target price for SMCI for next week. So in my opinion, by the end of next week, SMCI should be able to go up at least 15% from here. At this point, SMCI is trading around 32.60. So if I add 15% on top of it, that gives, so let me add 15% here. So that gives 37.49, and that's a minimum upside in my opinion. So it can go further higher than that as well in next 5 days. On the lower side, SMCI also has the potential to go around 31 again next week, right? So high fluctuation you can again expect next week as well for SMCI. And that's my opinion regarding SMCI based on my judgment. And again, I can be wrong as well. So that's all about SMCI for this week. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more in the next week for SMCI, probably sometime on Friday or Saturday next week. And also, I posted this spreadsheet onto my Patreon account. So if you are an exclusive member, you can access this spreadsheet from there. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. Take care.